Hello everyone, welcome back to the CodeIsha Training Center. So today we will discuss about the Salesforce Sandboxes. So let's see in this session what is that Salesforce Sandboxes and why we use that sandboxes in the Salesforce and why we use these sandboxes instead of productions orgs, and also we'll discuss about the types of the sandboxes. Okay, so let's get into the agenda. So in this, we're gonna learn about the what is sandbox and why do we need sandboxes for our org. Okay, and types of Salesforce sandboxes and sandbox comparisons, and we have these sandbox templates also. We'll discuss about that, and sandbox refresh times, and also recommend the sandboxes based on the requirements. Okay, and final one, best practices. Okay, so let's jump into the first one. So coming to the what is a sandbox. So a sandbox is an isolated environment where changes do not affect our live business data. Okay, so a sandbox is a copy of our Salesforce production org used for development, testing, user training, and quality assurance. We use these sandbox orgs. Okay, so these sandbox are what is that copy of our Salesforce production org. Okay, so why we use that? For the testing and the development, user training, and the quality assurance. Okay, without impact on our production data, nothing but live data. Okay, so it allows teams to build and test new features safely before deploying them to the production org. Okay, nothing but live organization. Okay, so up to here, okay, right? And coming to the why do we need sandboxes. So without sandboxes, risk of breaking productions, okay, and testing impacts the real users, okay, and difficult to the validate new features. Okay, so when we use these, when we are going to the development new feature, or we are going to the adding anything new feature on our production, or so it will impact on the live users. Okay, so whoever the using that application like website or any other, so it will impact when we are going to the changes in that website, because of when we are going to the changes automatically servers down, right? So for that, better to the use the sandboxes. Okay, so let's see what's the benefits we use sandboxes. Okay, so with sandbox, safe development, okay, and accurate testing. Okay, so without any impacting on our live data, and user acceptance testing, nothing but UAT, and team training. Okay, and better release management also. Okay, so these are all the benefits when we use sandboxes. Okay, so coming to the next one. So we have the types of the sandboxes, Salesforce. So first is the developer sandbox. Okay, and coming to the next, developer pro sandbox, and next one, partial copy sandbox and full sandbox. So each type serves a different purpose depending on storage, data, and testing needs. Okay, so this is the each these are all types of the sandboxes. So let's see what is the purpose of we use each sandboxes in the Salesforce org. So coming to the first of all, developer sandbox. So developer sandbox best for Apex development and Lightning web developments and the flow developments and unit testing purpose. We use this best for developer sandbox. Okay, so here's the features for these developer sandbox. So it have the features metadata only and small storage and faster refreshment also. Okay, so we'll see in next slides about the refresh timing also. Okay, refresh intervals for each sandbox and ideal for individual developers. Okay, so this developer sandbox is for individual developers. Okay, and coming to the next one, developer pro sandbox. So these developer pro sandbox includes the metadata and also larger data. Okay, so this is the better than developer sandbox. Okay, and it's suitable for complex development and multiple test classes. Okay, and integration testing also we can use in these developer pro sandbox. Okay, so developer pro sandbox provides the more space better than the developer sandbox. Okay, so up to okay, right? And coming to the partial copy sandbox. So this partial copy sandbox contains the metadata and also have the simple production data. Okay, via sandbox template. Okay, so not every data we gonna get in this partial copy sandbox, just samples some of them. Okay, and best for the QA testing and UAT, nothing but user acceptance testing, and integration testing also we can do in this partial copy sandbox. Okay, so here's the benefits when we use these partially sandbox is realistic testing. Okay, and smaller than full sandbox. Okay, and faster refresh interval also. Okay, so up to okay, right? Here partial copy sandbox. And coming to the full sandbox. So this full sandbox is complete replica of production arc. Okay, so it includes the metadata, files, records, attachments also it includes. Okay, and it used for performance testing, load testing, and staging, and also final one, validation. Okay, so most comprehensive sandbox type. Okay, so better to, if need more time interval and more metadata or files or records or any attachments, so better to go with the full sandbox. Okay, up to okay, right? And coming to the next one, here's the sandbox templates. Okay, so like objects, records, and related data. Okay, and benefits reduces the storage and the faster refreshments, and also includes the only requirement data. Okay, so not all data, it will only available only requirement data. Okay, so available for partial copy sandboxes. Okay, and coming to the next one, sandbox in refresh interval timings. Okay, so refreshing updates the sandbox with the latest production data. So refresh intervals coming to the developer sandbox have the every 1 day. For for developer pro have the every 1 day as same thing like developer. Okay, and coming to the partial copy have the 5 days sandbox refresh intervals, and coming to the full sandbox have the 29 days. Okay, so better go with the full sandbox when you are going to the users. Okay, so more users, so when you are going to the full sandbox it won't impact on your live production arc. Okay, so and note, refreshing replaces existing the sandbox data. Okay, so it not any impact on our live data. Okay, and coming to the next one, so which sandbox should be use purpose. Okay, so coming to the, for coding, better to go with the developer. Okay, so future development, better we have to go with the developer pro sandbox, and QA testing and also UAT, better to go with the partial copy sandboxes, and performance testing and production validation, better to go with the full sandbox. Okay, so here's the sandboxes about that, what is what and where we use these and why we use these all. And here's the best practices for sandboxes. So never development directly in your production arc or live arc. Okay, so refresh sandboxes regularly. Okay, and the use sandbox templates. Okay, better to when you are need the data. Okay, and protect sensitive data, nothing but live data, and test before deployment everything whatever your changes in your sandbox are. So better to test those things whatever your features are done, okay, added new features, and keep environments organized, okay. So these are all best practice for sandbox. And so thank you everyone for watching this video. So I hope you get something new about this sandbox, okay. So thank you everyone for watching, and don't forget to the like and subscribe and share it with your friends whoever the actively learning about the Salesforce, okay. So thank you.